Alrighty, hello. Good evening from here in sunny southern Arizona. It's quite overcast today, hopefully bringing the monsoon season so we can hopefully get some rain. Um, I am just kind of coming on a few minutes before. We've got about 38 minutes or so until the January 6th hearings will go live. I just wanted to go over some stuff here. This is very funny. So, Fox News has already contended that they will not be streaming these hearings, which I find absolutely hysterical. But here's a post from The Hill. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see some of these. Let me see here. All right, here we go. Alrighty, so Republicans pledge investigation into January 6th investigation. Of course they do. House Republicans announced their intent to conduct their own investigation into the January 6th committee should they overtake leadership of the chamber. The minority on the House Committee on Administration sent a letter asking the Select Committee investigating the attack to preserve all of its records, a preamble to obtaining those documents and what would become an investigation into an investigation. This makes no sense, guys. This is a bipartisan committee. So, when the Republicans once again hold the gavel, and I am chairman of the House Administration Committee, one of our first priorities is going to be launching a full investigation into Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Select Committee circus. Ranking member Rodney Davis of Illinois wrote in a letter to Representative Benny Thompson, chair of the January 6th committee. This is dumb. This is dumb as fuck, guys. None of that has anything to do. This does not have anything to do with Nancy Pelosi. They tried, but no. So let me get out of that one. And let's see here. They have, Arizona GOP chair Kelly Ward slammed after calling Phoenix a hellhole. Yeah, fuck you too, Kelly Ward. I won't be voting for you. If you've been to Phoenix recently, it's actually gotten a lot nicer with the expansion of the highway there. Let's see here. Other than I don't like Phoenix because it feels like a blast furnace around this time of year. Nothing personal. Okay, let me go in here because there's like a whole bunch of these that are like popping up on my headlines. I wanted to see more. That's not the one I wanted. I can't just, oh, there we go. I don't get on this thing very often, so let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, yes, I see everything under the sun from right-wing media right now trying to move the ball or move the attention from these hearings to stuff that we really don't have a whole lot of control over. So, all right, so let's go in here. Go to. I'm just kind of messing around, guys, until this thing starts. So I already have it pulled up, but I think it still said we had like, I don't know. Let me take a look here because it's something like 33 minutes left. So for now, let's just do let's just fuck around for a moment. So, I don't want to go live with anybody else, guys, because I'm just going to hear a bunch of shit that I don't want to hear about. bunch of whiny Republicans right now. Be funny because I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Democrats, they would be fucking having a blast right now. But it's just not the case. And I mean, I would have hoped that Republicans wanted to watch Antifa and BLM, because that's what they tried to put it off as, which was obviously not true. So let's see here. Let's go to January 6th. It's pretty interesting. So exclusive video obtained by January 6th committee shows attack on Capitol unfolding. Let's see.
To Washington and high-stakes hearings on the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Getting underway this evening, featuring dramatic video that has not been aired before, as well as live witnesses and testimony from Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. The House Committee set to present the findings of its investigation in a highly produced event over several days. Our chief Washington correspondent, Justin Carl, has exclusive video in this preview of what's to come. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. In the midst of the chaos and carnage as the Capitol was attacked on January 6th, the documentary filmmaker and his crew, tonight he will tell his remarkable story and show for the first time the footage that he and his crew shot as the mob attacked the Capitol. This morning, exclusively on ABC, we're seeing extraordinary, never-before-seen video of the January 6th attack on the Capitol, taken by documentary filmmaker Nick Quested, who turned over hours of footage to the January 6th committee. He was right there with the Proud Boys and others as they marched on the Capitol. He captured the chaos outside.
I am not allowed to say what's going to happen today because everyone's just going to have to watch for themselves. But it's going to happen. Something's going to happen. One way or the other.
The first barricades going down. Clashes on the inaugural platform. A rider falling off the balcony. The police assaulted. Rioters using flagpoles as weapons. The action of the building is bridged.
We have stormed the Capitol!
And inside the Capitol, a member of his film crew capturing the scene outside Nancy Pelosi's office. The video was shot just minutes after Speaker Pelosi was evacuated from the building by the Capitol Police. Quested himself was assaulted, a rioter seen here trying to smash his camera. In footage previously released by the Justice Department, Quested videotaped Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio as he was released from prison and on the eve of the riot, meeting in an underground parking garage on Capitol Hill with another militant leader, Stuart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers. On day one of the hearings, the committee hopes to document the horror of the day on Capitol Hill. Donald Trump's failure to do anything to stop it.
She'll never take back our country with weakness.
In addition to Quested, they'll hear live testimony from Capitol Police Officer Caroline Edwards, who was injured when rioters broke through the barricades. And we will hear taped testimony from some of those closest to Trump when it all went down, including his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner. The committee plans several more hearings later this month, with the aim of showing that this was far more than a riot. It was a months-long effort led by President Trump himself to overturn a presidential election. You guys?
All right, John, thank you so much. We're going to bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. So we have to remind folks, this is not a legal proceeding. So what is the end game here? What's the goal?
Well, theoretically, this is supposed to be to evaluate what happened, to prevent it from happening again, right? To pass laws, to create procedures, to ensure that nothing like this ever happens. And that's why Jonathan's last point is so important, that this is really about what led up to it. Yes, the videos are going to be incredibly compelling and powerful, but when you're talking about how to prevent something like this from happening again, really the focus has to be on how do you get here? how did this happen, etc.
And this is, it's not a legal proceeding, but are there any legal ramifications?
Potentially, look, any information that they gather that shows potential criminality could certainly be used in any future proceedings. It could be used in a civil case as well. I think that information is much more important than any potential criminal referrals from Congress. People say, well, is Congress going to refer for criminality? It's possible. But that's
me
much
too,
less
Will,
important,
me
I think, than
too.
the actual information that they gather.
I think
as
it'll be
part of it.
interesting
And I
to
was thinking that this is a prime time event.
to
Clearly, they're
see
looking
what his
for a
own children
massive
have to
audience
say.
of the American people. So how important is this in the court of public opinion?
I think this is all about the court of public opinion. When you're talking about getting Congress to act, you need support from the public. When you're talking about getting Congress to pass laws or change procedures, etc., you need the backing of the public. And that's why, for members
They'll
of this
probably
committee, how the public
be on
responds.
video
is so
tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens.
Or he'll
tonight.
probably be,
Thank you,
you
Dan.
know,
We will have live
on
coverage of the first
an
prime time
interview or
event
something
tonight
tomorrow.
at 8:30.
I can.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for.
I don't care. Okay. Yes, well, he'll probably have his own press conference or whatever between now and tomorrow, trying to tell his followers that whatever you believe, whatever you see, it didn't really happen that way. I'm waiting for it. He's like the Amber Heard. Let's see here. No, do that. Oh, guys, I am feeling it today. Yeah, he's gonna try and paint himself as the victim. He takes no responsibility, and he has taken no accountability in his actions in this. I mean, it was all over. I mean, you can't. Yeah, we could really go deep into this. Like, let's see if we can find the Georgia Georgia phone call with Trump. Let's see here if they'll have it. Let's see here if that's. I just want like the clip. I want like an hour and 2 long. Oh, it was a 1 hour freaking phone call. The fuck, man. Let's see here. See if we can. See, I hate this because like all you get is like the news sources and stuff like that. Like I hate the news. So let's see here. Let's see if this one's supposed to only like.
Tonight, last-minute campaigning with just one
Let's see
day.
if this
until
shows it or
Georgia's
not,
key
or
Senate
does the
runoffs,
part of that phone
I need
call.
you to vote, Georgia.
including President-elect Biden taking aim at President Trump.
I don't know why he still wants the job. He doesn't want to do the work.
It comes after the president can be heard on a call pushing Georgia's Republican election officials to overturn his loss in the state. NBC News obtained a recording of that stunning 62-minute conversation where the president urges those officials to find votes for him. Biden narrowly won Georgia by 11,779 votes.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Later, saying to the Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger,
And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
the president repeatedly asserting
should have.
false claims of widespread fraud.
There are many infractions, and the bottom line is many, many times the 11,779 margin that they said we lost by.
Raffensperger pushing back.
Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Today, Raffensperger said he did not feel the president pressured him. But Republican Senator David Perdue, who is locked in a razor-tight race in tomorrow's runoff, slamming Raffensperger.
And I'm still shocked that a member of the Republican Party would take a sitting president and then leak that. That's disgusting in my view.
Late today, Raffensperger insisting he did not release the audio in an interview with NBC's Blaine Alexander.
I don't know how it got released, but at the end of the day, what he said was not factually correct. And I want to make sure that people understand the facts.
The president will campaign in Georgia tonight as some of his allies tell NBC News.
Yeah, I mean, even blaming Raffensperger for Trump's choices there. I mean, you can't just call up a sitting governor and be like, hey, man, find me those votes. It's completely illegal and unconstitutional. So there's a lot more. Like I said, there's a whole 62 minutes of that video or of the phone call that they got. I'd have to pull it up separately. I don't have enough time for that tonight because otherwise we'll be, here in about 20, I think it's about 20 minutes or so, we're supposed to be able to start these hearings. So I'm going to pull up USA Today and watch it live through them, most likely, or PBS NewsHour, one of the two. PBS NewsHour, they don't usually allow comments on their end, so I wouldn't be blasted with that, but we'll see how that goes. I'm very interested to see if there's any accountability in this whatsoever, or if we're just looking at here's how we combat this happening again. But the reality is that if you don't hold people accountable, then how can you really, truly, how does it truly hold anybody accountable if you don't do it from the very beginning of saying, hey, we're not doing this again. So, Trump should have gotten more than just impeached with what he did there at the very end. That's my personal viewpoint, based on the facts that were given. But luckily for us, he was voted out instead. We could talk all day about the inflation and the gas prices, but we're barely sitting double what we were pre-pandemic level, at least here in Arizona. And other countries are faring about, way more harshly than we are. I think the last check, let's see here. Let's just go look at this for a second because I know that sometimes it's just better to do this. So let's go price, or let's see here. Price per gallon of gas worldwide. Let's just take a look on that, guys. So, they're climbing closer to $5, but again, this is not a Biden caused problem. Like I said, I can go over that in another segment. If somebody throws out there that it was caused by the Keystone Pipeline being shut down, shut the fuck up and get off my channel, because that is not it at all. The Keystone Pipeline is still running. The one that got shut down was the Keystone Pipeline extension, which would have brought down the Canadian tar sand oil, which would have had to have been sent elsewhere from the United States because we do not have the capacity to turn that into crude oil here. So the only person that would have really benefited would have been the person who was turning it into crude oil and Canada. That was it. Not us. It had nothing to do with our gas prices at all. So like I said, if you think it's the Keystone Pipeline, just go, because this is not the place for that. So, not because you can't have your own opinion, but opinions are like assholes and everybody has one and there are facts. So, Let me see here. Yeah, I had seen one of them. I'm on the wrong thing, by the way. So let's just go gasoline prices per gallon worldwide. Yeah, because we are definitely not the worst off by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, so for, let's see here. I don't know when they put that together, but it was $7.93 a gallon in Norway, $7.77 in Denmark, $7.59 in Germany. Let's see here. $7.26 in Italy, $6.74 in Ireland, $6.57 in Austria. I mean, we're not even seeing. I mean, the only place you're really seeing that is like California, and I can tell you that I just took a trip there so I could go race a race car, and it was pretty expensive to run our van out there. So, but okay, so I'm gonna have like sun beating down here a little bit, so don't mind me here. I'm just trying to get a little bit more shade. I still have to put curtains up in here because this is we just almost finished this room up. My son was sleeping in here. He decided that he wanted to move his bed in our room. So I was not opposed because I wanted him to sleep in his bed and not mine. Not that that's made much of a difference. But I took over his room as my work area, and so I could be able to do this type of stuff with you guys. So because I enjoy it. It's fun. So let's see here. We could do gasoline prices around the world as of June 6th. That's close enough. That was only 3 days ago. Let's see here. Let's go by US gallon. So, it's real cheap there in Syria and Algeria and the Middle East, basically. Wonder why. Anyway. Let's see here. Gets higher as you go along here in Africa, Russia. Let's see here. Mexico sits at $4.55 a gallon. And let's see where we sit. I guess this is just a few days ago. So, so I know down here, I think we're looking at $4.50 something, I think it is. I'd have to look up our prices. Hey, Will, do you know what the current gas prices are? I haven't filled up my tank in a couple of days. I have no idea. I haven't gone out, and I don't know if it's raised like another 30 cents. But this is, it's price gouging at its finest. They're making record profits while everybody else is suffering. So let's see here. Oh, Denmark. Oh, Hong Kong, $11.21. Norway, $10.82. Holy crap, guys. Norway, $10.82. Denmark, $10.32. Finland, $10.12. This is insane. France is at $8.56. United Kingdom is at $8.32. Let me see here. I love that. Northern Macedonia. Sorry, I just like to say Macedonia. Okay. Uruguay, Croatia, Slovakia, we're sitting around that 7.5 gallons. Or $7.50 a gallon. Trying to find us on here. Let's see here. I need to put USA. Oh, there we are. So they're showing us averaging $5.37 a gallon. So we are, we're not the highest, not the lowest, but, we're obviously we are not doing as bad here. So, thanks, honey. So my husband says it's $4.59 a gallon as of yesterday when he got gas. So. Huh?
Lots of items.
My husband's reminding me that I'm doing lots of I remember being told that when I was doing like speech classes or English class, not to present anything. I always sucked at that. I always had to use filler words. Oh, working at it. So, but that's the global prices right now. You know, we should be probably pretty thankful that we're not sitting there any higher than that. You know, obviously, a lot of these are going to be higher as a generality. Especially going on there and what's going on in Russia and the Ukraine. And moving away from Russian oil, which is not as, I'm sure it's not as easy to do. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if they have a fuel price forecast. So let's see here. They have their forecasting methodology and all that stuff. Number one answer should be greed. Alrighty, guys. So we are getting closer here. Looks like there is. Alrighty, guys, give me just a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this, and I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast, and I will be back in about 7 to 10 minutes, guys, okay? Can't wait. See you soon. Well, let's see if it'll end here. There we go.